Welcome to the show, guys. I'm Kat, and this is XL. This is the place where we dive into everything that gets you excited about the basketball world. The hoops, the highs, have you seen what happened in that game yet? And you know, we keep things loose here on XL, so give me a moment because, Sweets, I need you to help me set this one up. This is Dwayne. This is my producer, the one that keeps things happening around these parts. So how are we starting things off today?
Make me do your job now.
Yes,
Talking in front of the camera. Okay, well, this is a story I'm really excited about. Royce White was a 2012 NBA lottery pick with the Rockets. The size and skill set of LeBron James. He was diagnosed with an anxiety disorder. He scared a lot of things away, never played in the NBA. So he went to London to find out what's going on.
All right, let's go to London.
Canadian towns that I've experienced so far have a striking similarity to Midwest towns. And when I came here to visit, what was maybe 12 months ago now, it felt a lot like home, which is one of the main reasons why I decided it was a good spot. Like, there's only some people who have certain abilities and traits, and like being a 6'8", 265-pound point guard, to have ball handling skills like that, a vision like that, or even agility like that, or mobility like that is just, if you were going to put it in animal terms, like you'd be at the top of the food chain. You'd be an apex predator. You're always on the hunt. And that's what I feel like out there a lot of times. And I try to, you know, shift that energy to be unselfish. It's like, if I'm a lion on the Serengeti, I'm the strongest, baddest thing out there running. How can I use that to share with the rest of the pride? But that's just who I am. But when it comes to in between those lines, I'm the top predator. You know, there's nothing out there like me. When I first got here, had a couple knick-knack injuries. Then I had pneumonia, so I had to play through both of those things. But once we got through all that, it was great. It was a breeze, and you can't ask for a better situation than to re-enter into basketball and be a part of something that special. It's like the best thing you could hope for.
With the 16th pick in the 2012 NBA draft, the Houston Rockets select Royce White of Iowa State University.
So when I was 16, I was diagnosed with generalized anxiety disorder. And yeah, I mean, I think I probably suffer from some OCD as well. Mental health thing in general, this topic. I'm a huge advocate that most people are going to fall on the spectrum somewhere. The line between being honest with our emotion and being socially acceptable. The point about mental health being taboo, that's one of the reasons why it is because our true emotion is something that we tend to hide as a defense mechanism.
You know, we talked a lot about it, and I know he wants to do a lot of good for people that suffer from anxiety and mental health disorders. He's you know, a guy that wants to create change, and I admire him for that. You know, to be outspoken and to raise awareness and raise funds for people that suffer. Again, that says a lot about Royce and trying to make the world a better place.
You know, the advocacy is one thing, but who could argue the advocacy? See, when I was in the rooms with the power players in the NBA, there was no argument about whether mental health was important or not. The argument was about the urgency, our commitment and our acknowledgement and our willingness to work to find a solution that's tenable, that has me in the position or the tension that I'm in.
But he's got an anxiety disorder, and he's been really upfront about it. He's actually been an inspiration to a lot of people that suffer from OCD and things like it, and it's something that he's going to have to overcome.
Royce White's not a big fan of flying either, and people wondered what impact that might have.
But I really like Royce White. Obviously, have to get over his flying issues.
The flying thing, it's one of the most shocking, misinformed stories that continues to have legs or continues to reemerge in the media. It's strange because I flew my entire season at Iowa State. I flew even with the Houston Rockets. I flew when I was in Philadelphia. Our hard opinions are built, concrete opinions are built on sometimes baseless information and carried on. I was asking or requesting that mental health be acknowledged in policy, which is significantly different than me not being able to fly. The anxiety and its effect on an elite athlete or an elite athlete's ability to be elite. I was going to Texas A&M. I had already been sick, had already had the flu. I remember before the game, I was really thinking to myself, how am I going to play?
You know, Royce at times wouldn't eat. He had a nervous stomach. He wouldn't eat before games. I remember him throwing up right before the game after not eating a thing all day and going out and putting up a triple-double. It was one of the greatest performances I've ever seen.
Everything went my way that game. A great testament of people thinking that people with anxiety can't perform at high levels. Like, I actually was going through tremendous anxiety in that game.
I was really happy for Royce last year to get back on the floor and to have an MVP season.
Special, man. It's special. I can't lie, man. It feels good. It's like I said, my first pro season to win a championship is all you could ask for. Basketball and team sports is one of the greatest microcosms of the character traits that we should try and embody more as a society. Like teamwork, how to sacrifice the individual for the collective, effort, competing, working, problem solving. These are all things that on a game-by-game, day-by-day basis, practice-by-practice, that you go through as a team. Will I ever play? I don't know. I don't know. It's not totally up to me. Actually, it's probably very little up to me. I hope to. I hope to. I think I love the game. I love the game and respect the game enough to have a huge admiration for what the NBA is in the context of basketball from a purely sporting standpoint. And of course I want to participate in that. Do I want to play enough to renege my claim that mental health is the most important social issue we face? Absolutely not. Absolutely not.